Welcome to our first virtual reading lesson. What you will need for today's lesson is your copy of your virtual reading notebook found in your Google Classroom, as well as an article titled An Animal Like No Other, which you will also find in your Google Classroom. So this is our virtual reading notebook. Very quickly, I would like you to pause this video and type your name right here. You can click on the text box by quickly double tapping it. Once you have written your name, you can scroll down to the next page, and it is our teaching points for our nonfiction reading unit. Today we are going to begin with session 1. So our teaching point for today is that readers approach reading nonfiction with things that are apt to be important. We're going to keep scrolling through our notebook just to get to our lesson page. So on slide 3, you can see a sheet called Conferring Notes. This is where you can type to me if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about your learning. If you don't have any of those things right now, you can just skip this page. We're going to go straight to page 4 because this is the work page we need for session 1, the lesson that we're on right now. So for this lesson, we are going to be using an article called An Animal Like No Other, and this should be uploaded onto your Google Classroom work for today. So I want you to take a peek and open up this article called An Animal Like No Other. And without even reading it, I want you to scroll through it and take notes of things that you think might be important to notice when you first look at this. So what sorts of things did the author include that might be important to us as nonfiction readers? This could be things like titles, headings, graphs, images. Once you think of these things after looking through it, I want you to type it back in your notebook in this box right here. And you can start typing by double clicking it. So nonfiction readers know it pays off to think about things like what? Take a look at your article and type it in here. Once you are done with this work, you may continue or resume this video. There are a few things that I noticed right away when I look at our octopus article. The first thing I'm noticing is the title, An Animal Like No Other. It's big, it's bold, it's red, it's hard to not see. So I know that the author wants me to see that as the reader. Titles are important, especially for nonfiction, because they tell you what we're going to read about. So I typed title in my box in my notebook of things that it pays off to think about. I also noticed in our octopus article the 2 big images that the author chose to include. She put those there for a reason, and I think that it helps us learn a little bit more about these animals. So in my notebook so far, I wrote that it pays off to think about title and images. Now in 5th grade, we want to up our thinking a little bit when it comes to nonfiction reading. It also pays off to think of things like main ideas and their supports. So I'm going to type that, and I would like you to type it along with me. Main ideas and their supports. So what we mean by that is what the book or the article is mostly about, and then the evidence the author provides to back up that main idea, what it is mostly about. It also pays off to think about text structure. So text structure is the way that the book or the article is written. How is the author getting their information across? Text structure. Please type that along with me. And last but not least, it pays off in nonfiction reading to think about parts of the text and how they all fit together. Parts of the text and how they all fit together. So this means different chunks of the text, different pieces of information, and how it all connects to create one book or one article about a certain topic. What we are going to do now is read through our article, An Animal Like No Other, and we are going to take notes on these things that it's important to take notes about when you first read a new nonfiction book. What we're going to do is read our article and take notes on the things that we know that it pays off to think about. So these things like titles and main ideas and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to take notes over here on my notebook sheet, and I'm going to click back and forth between the article and the notebook so I can read and take notes kind of at the same time. So I already know that the title of our article is An Animal Like No Other. And if I am thinking about that, I'm going to take notes using bullet points, but you can use whatever. So an animal like no other. This is the title. So taking notes on something I know it pays off to think about. Animal like no other makes me think that this animal is going to be really unique. It's like no other. So already this title is making me think that octopuses are very unique animals. Why is this giving me a red line? Aha, octopuses are very unique animals. So I already have a note down and I didn't even start reading. So I bet I can take a lot of notes on our article. So I am going to, read our article out loud and model for you how I would take notes. What I would like you to do as I do this is to follow along and also take notes with me. So you can copy down the notes that I'm taking and you can also add your own. One of the things that we've already started talking about with this article is its title, An Animal Like No Other. That is one of the important things that the author wants us to realize about her nonfiction text. So the title, An Animal Like No Other, makes me think that the subject of this article, an octopus, is a really unique animal. It's not like any other type of animal. So this title, An Animal Like No Other, makes me think that the octopus is a really unique animal. Makes me think there's not much like it. So right away, before I even began reading this article, I can tell that there are some cool and important facts jumping out at me. So follow along in your copy of the article as I begin reading. So of all the strange and wonderful creatures that live in the ocean, one stands out above the rest. It is the amazing octopus. There are over 300 different types of octopus, and they can be found in every ocean in the world. The octopus has a body unlike any other animal. So again, an animal like no other. It seems very unique so far. Its body, called a mantle, is soft and shaped like a bag. The octopus can squeeze into very small spaces because it has no bones in its body. It's kind of strange. Its 8 rubbery arms are attached to its head near its mouth. The octopus's arms are covered with suckers, which help the octopus grab and taste things. The octopuses can see very far distances but cannot hear anything at all. Okay, I'm going to pause right there because already I'm thinking, wow, this octopus is amazing. Like there's so many parts of its body that's very unique, like having arms attached to your head. You don't really see that too much. So if I want to go back and add a note from about what I've read so far, I'm going to think that so far the author really wants us to think about the main idea, and they're really getting across that the main idea about this octopus is that it's really interesting. It's really unique. And look, that goes right along with what I said about the title here. So I'm going to say so far, I think the main idea might be that the octopus has several unique features. Because, right, she's talking about its unique body parts on the outside. And then if we keep reading, look, it says right here, the octopus's body is amazing on the inside too. Along with its stomach and other organs, the octopus has 3 hearts, so very unique features. 2 of its hearts send blood, which is light blue, to its organs for breathing, called gills, on 2 of its arms. The 3rd heart sends blood to the rest of the body. When the octopus breathes out, water comes out of the tube called a siphon. So again, I'm still thinking that the main idea is that this octopus is pretty cool, pretty unique. Let's keep reading though. The octopus has many amazing ways to defend itself from predators. When an octopus wants to move quickly to escape a predator, it can shoot water out of its siphon and push itself backwards. This is called jet propulsion. That seems pretty cool. Using this technique, octopuses can travel many miles. An octopus can also protect itself by squirting ink at a predator, causing it to become blind and lose its sense of smell temporarily. Okay, tell me that's not pretty cool. That is pretty unique. I can't think of any other type of animal that, one, uses jet propulsion and two, squirts ink. That is pretty cool and pretty unique. So in my notes, the main idea, I still think that I was right, that I got it right, that the octopus has several unique features. I also want to take some notes on the supports that I've read so far that prove that the octopus has some unique features. So let's see. I want to make a bullet point that's off of this bullet point. So I'm just going to make a dash. So some supporting evidence, right? So there's supports that I took notes on. It's important to notice. Well, the author talked about, right away I'm thinking of jet propulsion and those siphons and ink. I'm taking notes on the supports that back up my main idea here. So they said jet propulsion, tentacles, 3 hearts, right? Let me double check. It's up here. 3 hearts. Just had to fact check myself. So these are all the supports. I'm taking notes on all the supports that the author provides to back up my main idea. So what I would like you to do is finish reading this article in your head, or you can read it out loud to yourself, whatever floats your boat. And you're going to continue taking notes. So just like I modeled, you're going to finish this article, and if anything supports our main idea, or if you're saying anything pop out about text structure or different parts, I want you to take notes in your boxes. And so remember, you are supposed to copy my notes right now and type your own notes as you read the rest of this article. So take some time, pause this video, and finish up that work, and then we will reconnect once you are done. That you've read the rest of your article and you've taken some notes, let's take a second to compare our notes. So as I kept reading, I learned another cool thing that make octopuses unique is that they change colors when they're trying to escape from predators. So that's another support that I took a note on that backs up my main idea. I also took a note on text structure. So you see that text structure is something that nonfiction readers pay attention to when they look at books. And what I noticed about the text structure of this article is that it was nothing fancy. There wasn't, if I'm going back to my chart, I didn't notice any chronological, cause and effects, problem solution, or compare and contrast text structures. So what I did notice about this text structure, though, is that each paragraph of the article talked about something new. So one paragraph was talking about the outside of the octopus's body. This one was talking about the inside of the octopus's body. Right here, it's talking about how it defends itself from predators. So there's no headings, right? There's no titles for each body paragraph, but each body paragraph is a new topic. So I said each paragraph is about something new, but there are no headings. So readers pay attention to different details in nonfiction text like this so they can better understand what the author wants us to learn. Reading work today, I would like you to transfer what we learned during this lesson to your independent work, to your independent reading. How you're going to do that is by finding an interesting nonfiction book on this website, Epic. Ask your teacher for your code if you don't know it. What you're going to do is type out of the title of the book that you find up top here, and then take notes on our sticky note down here on the things that you know are important when approaching new nonfiction books. Good luck.